It's Ron Reader digs the universe. I'm Ron Reader, and this is Ron Reader Digs the Universe. And tonight, Neil Gaiman's creepy elf sex. One of the first things I think we need to know in order to sort of crack the code obscuring how the seemingly compassionate, empathetic, thoughtful, and vulnerable best-selling fantasy author could find himself accused, credibly, by 8 women of sexual harassment and assault is that Neil Gaiman was raised in the Scientology cult. He eventually parted ways with them, but not before he advanced to the relatively high rank of auditor while he was in his 20s. Scientology is a religion that's about using people, about ripping them off, about narcissism and fucking over your enemies. It's a religion whose adherents fancy themselves wolves among a population of sheep, and they say the acorn doesn't fall too far from the tree. His family's values are Scientology values. A second factor to consider here is Gaiman's very recently ex-wife, singer Amanda Palmer of Dresden Dolls fame. She's a multi-millionaire who has presented herself as a sort of artist worker, raising funds from crowdsourcing, crashing at fans' apartments, not paying for anything and getting money for free. And this includes free labor from fans, from musicians to nannies, and more on that in a moment. But basically, she's an exploiter, like Trump. And her worker shtick is just insulting bullshit. She's a greedy, selfish piece of shit. Perfect for a man raised by Scientologists. The long and the short of this is that Neil Gaiman has been in a family culture one way or the other of selfishness, narcissism, and exploitation for much of his life. Okay, back to Amanda Palmer's free exploited labor. 2 fans of hers accused Gaiman of sexual abuse. A nanny and a caretaker working for her. Another 6 fans of Gaiman's have also accused him. Their accusations are credible, and I believe them. For me, Gaiman's exploitative background is what gives this the air of truth. I think he did it. I'm surprised, of course, because his work doesn't seem to reflect this. On the other hand, he has penned some pretty heinous villains, so maybe I was just naive. To say the least, I am very disappointed. He is among the greatest comic book writers of all time, and he used to blow my mind and rock my world once a month for years when he was writing The Sandman back in the day. Fuck Neil Gaiman for making my love for his work problematic, and oh yeah, fuck Neil Gaiman for sexually abusing vulnerable women. What's to be done? Well, what's to be done has already started a pretty swift reaction and an online outpouring of rage and grief from fans and colleagues alike. Tori Amos sounds ready to ditch her friend and collaborator. Dark Horse Comics has canceled all of his projects, and I think it's likely that Hollywood will follow suit. I think it's also likely that for at least a few years, and hopefully a lot longer, like forever, that he will no longer be treated as a respected figure. No lectures, no teaching gigs, no awards, no interviews, no convention invitations. He's a despicable man, and we must treat him as such. But that's the man. What should be done about his work? I can't do Bill Cosby's Fat Albert anymore. I have a friend who can't listen to Michael Jackson. I know a lot of people who can't handle watching Woody Allen movies anymore, and I can dig that. If a given artist's crimes hit you in the gut so hard that it's all you can think about when you experience his work, well then, by all means, don't experience his work. I don't, under those circumstances. But then a lot, maybe most of Gaiman's work is collaborative. Artists, inkers, colorists, comic book editors, film directors, composers, musicians, actors, costumers, camera operators, and on and on. Should we throw out their work along with Gaiman? I don't know. It's an ethically difficult situation. I'm Ron Reader, and this has been Ron Reader Digs the Universe. Join me, Ron Reader, again next week for another episode of Ron Reader Digs the Universe. Hey, at least we still got that great Scotsman comic book writer Grant Morrison